couple other things to consider, and these are going to go into your costs, that per transaction expense that you have that takes out of your $3 profit, right? One is going to be the internet connection. All right, all ATMs need to connect to the internet. Now, there are a couple options. You can use the local companies or the local business that the ATM is in. You can use their Wi-Fi. That'll save you a lot of money, right? There's also, it can be Wi-Fi or wired. So if they have a wired system, it's going to run a lot smoother wired, but it can also connect Wi-Fi, right? You can rent them from your processor. All right, so we'll talk about the processor. The processor and the distributor, etc., is the person not only that you get your ATMs from, you can get your ATMs from, you can also get your internet service from, okay? So you want to keep that in mind. And I say rent because they'll charge you $20 a month or something like that for the internet service. And then keep in mind, you can self-purchase your own router and internet service. You don't have to go through a processor. You don't have to use the local company or the location of the ATM. You can buy a router, stick it in the back of the ATM and purchase your own internet service for the ATM. Refilling the machines. This business is often local for starters because you have to drive and refill the machines. Gas is extremely high right now, and so you're going to keep in mind how often and keep in mind your routes. Hiring runners and vaulters. So refilling the machines, once you get to your second or third or fourth or fifth machine, once you get further out of the area, if you're doing this part-time and doing something else full-time, you might have to hire some people to refill the money in the machines. There's also what they call vaulters, which are separate companies or separate individuals. Not only will they refill the machines, but oftentimes vaulters will front you the money for a cost. Just charge you a certain percentage per transaction or whatever it may be. It makes it more hands-off. If you're taking out your only 2 hours labor, it's very passive compared to a lot of businesses, especially a non-internet business to be so passive, right? Some other things to consider: safety, security, repairs, and insurance. So all this are going to take out of your expenses. They're all not required initially. Okay, we'll get into how much they cost and what the requirements are, but you want to think about safety. All right, you want to think about a safe internet connection. You want to think about going out and handling cash, putting thousands of dollars into a machine. So that's the security. The repairs. People can push over the ATM machines. They're pretty sturdy. They're pretty strong and sturdy, and so it's hard to really mess them up. That's why insurance might not be something you get right off the bat, but they can get messed up. You see a lot of out of order signs on ATM machines, and someone has to come fix it. So that's either expense that you pay for the repair, or you have some type of insurance or repair service, or even the processor we talked about before. They can cover repair costs as well if you have the right agreement with them. But again, that takes into your expenses, all right? So just keep that in mind.